Good morning.
Good morning. It is my pleasure today on the great Colerain teach-in to introduce to you a dear friend of mine. She is an author of several books. She lives in Oxford, Ohio, up near Miami University area. And it's been my pleasure to know her for a few years now. Seems like a lifetime. She's a wife, she's a mom, she's an author. She is an amazing writing buddy of mine. She helps me out immensely. And she's coming today to talk to you about something that appeals to each of us, something that each of us can learn from. So I would invite you to join me in welcoming Laura Smith.
Two, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the books that I've written. And most importantly, we're going to talk about dreams today. Now, there's a lot of things there we're working in together. I always find the best place to start is at the beginning. So we're going to begin with the first book I ever wrote, and the first book I ever got published, which is Cantaloupe Trees. And if we're going to talk about cantaloupe trees, then we need to go to the very basics. Does anyone know what this is? Cantaloupe. You guys are with it this morning now. For the next question, who can tell me what cantaloupes grow on?
Trees.
Trees. Sorry, it's a language you have. Vines. Yay. If you had the pleasure of going to a pumpkin patch this past Halloween, you saw how pumpkins grow on the ground, entangled in vines. And cantaloupes are cousins of pumpkins. They grow on vines as well. So if cantaloupes grow on vines, why would I write a little kid's fantasy book called Cantaloupe Trees? You think I didn't do my research before I came up with the title? You think I was trying to trick little kids, get them to think the wrong thing? The truth is, I like to write fiction. There are really two kinds of writing. There's nonfiction, which is either to tell you how to do something or to tell a real thing that has occurred, or fiction. And I define fiction as something in your heart, your mind, your soul that you either fear will happen or you hope will happen. So the best example I can think of for fiction that reflects both the fears and the hopes is the Twilight series. You're all familiar with it.
Yeah.
Somewhere in our hearts, our minds, our souls, we fear that vampires or werewolves are real. We know they aren't. We're smarter than that. But around Halloween time, we see a lot of spooky decorations and watch a lot of scary movies and listen to some spooky music. And somewhere in our worst nightmares, in our hearts, minds, or souls, we fear that those things exist. On the other hand, somewhere in our hearts or minds or souls, we all hope for true love someday. That someone would love us as much as Edward loves Bella. Everyone has their own opinion. I think fiction is so much like dreams, right? Something in your heart, your mind, or soul that you fear will come true. That's your nightmares. Or that you hope will come true. Those are your good dreams. So let's break down dreams a little bit. The first and most obvious kind of dream is the sleepy dream, right? When you're asleep. Now last night, each and every one of you had a dream. You may or may not remember. You only remember the ones that you woke up, even if it was for a split second, in the middle of the night after having. But all of us had a dream last night. And I'm not a dream psychologist, so I don't know how it all works about in our minds what we hope and what we fear and how that translates into our dreams, but I know we all had dreams. Does anybody want to share a dream they had last night? Keeping in mind that we're listening to good dreams, not nightmares, and that we're in school, so it has to be G or PG rated. Anyone have a dream they want to share? With me, not just your friend. No? You want to share? We can just help me, I can translate. No. Dreams are kind of personal sometimes. That's alright. I dreamt last night that I was at the beach because I'm going over the week of Thanksgiving, and I'm really excited. And somewhere in my heart and my mind and my soul, I wish I was there already. But I didn't wake up with sand in my sheets or with shells on my pillow, and I didn't wake up soaking wet with salt water. But somewhere in my heart or my mind or my my soul, I was wishing I was already at the beach. Now, daydreams are very related to sleepy dreams, except for you're awake. So right now, you're all here at school. None of you are daydreaming. I'm sure you're all completely focused on me. But if you were to be daydreaming on this lovely Friday morning, you might be thinking of a fearful daydream, something in your heart, mind, or soul that you fear, like what your parents are going to do when they see what you got on your chemistry test. And although your parents aren't here, and although they haven't seen your test yet, somewhere in your heart, your mind, or soul, you might hear the old lecture that's coming, or being grounded, or maybe something even worse, I don't know. But you also have hopes as you're sitting here this Friday morning. Maybe about what you're going to do this weekend. Maybe going to the football game, or going to Dancing with the Cards, who you might run into, what you might get to eat tonight. All of those good things are in your mind, but there aren't any boxes of pizza in here, and Mrs. Bundy isn't in her sparkling dancing costume in here, and although you have your uniform on, you're not actually tossing the ball around in here. So maybe your heart or mind or soul is thinking about things for this weekend, but you're not actually there yet. Now, the most important kind of dream is the sometime in my lifetime kind of dream. This, for me, was sometime in my lifetime I wanted to get married and be a mom, and sometime in my lifetime I always dreamed of being a writer. Now, I don't know what your dreams are. It could be that you've always wanted to climb Mount Everest. It could be that you've always wanted to learn how to speak Italian. It could be that you want to graduate from high school, that you want to join the armed forces, that you want to be a nurse, that you want to find a cure for AIDS. It could be that you want to spend a year backpacking around Europe.